Right guys, hello and welcome to another one of my videos. I know it's been a while since I've done one, about a week actually, but I've been busy. What are you going to do? And from today's video I'm going to review the 2005 film The Descent, which was written and directed by Neil Marshall. If you might know him, he was the guy who did Dog Soldiers. Very good job on that. Better job on this. It's an amazing film and scares the living shit out of you. Or at least it did me, and I'm not that easily scared. Ish. But yeah. As you expect, it's a horror film. Got a very simple premise, basically. Group of girls, go caving, shit gets real. You don't need to know more than that. You know, without me spoiling like what plot there is. It is quite literally girls, friends, go on an adventure, get fucked over, job done. But obviously there is backing tracks, and it is just a very good film. It's believable. You believe that these girls are all friends. They're not actresses, they are all for hens, and the camera's just along for the ride. It is just quite literally, yeah, cool. The banter and stuff between them's great. Certain characters obviously react in different ways to others. I mean, you've got like the main character Sarah. She's mentally messed up really, and on medication because in the prologue you get her and her friends have been whitewater rafting because they're like adventure junkies, and on the way back, her husband and her daughter die in a car crash. I gotta be honest, I'm a harsh bastard, and I did laugh my head off at that because it was funny as fuck. It really was. It was literally driving in the car, Final Destination style, pole through the head. It was funny, it really was. Well, seriously, if you haven't seen it, watch it, you'll laugh. You really will, it was funny. But yeah, then it skips on to about a year later, and they're meeting up again, going on their next adventure. And this time they're in Canada, America, Canada. Why? Might be Alaska actually. It's up north somewhere. Okay, it's been a while. Don't judge me on this. And yeah, so they're there. They stay in the little cabin. They're all meeting up again. That's my cat. What do you want? So yeah, once the cat's gone, this will get it. Go away. So yeah. And basically they managed to go caving in the end. They're only there for one night in the cabin, but you know, it's great again because it shows a bit of banter. It shows more of the background stories between some of them. You find out like the one's trained to be a doctor, two of the girls are sisters, the main girl Sarah and the other woman Juno. They've got a bit of friction between them for reasons you keep finding out throughout the film, which is great. It, like I said, it adds more depth and it makes the characters believable. So yeah, and then they introduce a new girl to it, Holly, who is not part of their group. She's basically like Juno's apprentice sort of thing, and she's going with them just because she loves the adventure. And well, yeah. So they're going to these caves, and I watched the making of, and it really destroyed it. I'm very thick like that, so I didn't think they'd gone caving for most of this film. And it was on a warehouse with green screen and plastic rocks, and that really destroyed the magic for me. It really did. When you see this scene where they abseil down this giant hole, and you're like, oh, that's cool, what is it? Oh, it's blue mat, about 2 meters up. That's not good. But yeah, further out the cave again, it's very well drawn out. It's like, no horror films, quite literally, 5-minute prequel, you're dead. Done, you're dead. First person dies, bam, then a shit gets real from there. This one is very drawn out. It's like half an hour, 45 minutes really, before it gets into it. And that really builds the suspense because you're just thinking, oh, what's going to happen now? And they do drop very subtle hints. Some of them I didn't notice. I had to watch it. It was about the third time I watched it. I picked up some of them. The way it's just like, oh yeah, the monster's there in the corner for like a split second. You don't notice it, and it's really clever because obviously if you do notice, you're thinking shit. And if you don't notice it, then obviously you don't notice, and it makes it more of a surprise later when everything hits the fan. But yeah, throughout the film they go, and basically, I'll touch on this now, they're meant to be in this really pussy, as they call it, this really pussy caving system. So it's supposed to be easy, no challenge whatsoever. But Juno, being the adventure junkie she is, and thick as shit, has decided, nah, you know what, I want to go and, you know, if I find this new cave system, how she finds it you never find out. You know, will she just walk in and a big hole, must be a cave system. So yeah, she wants to discover this cave system with her friends, which is a bad idea because they're not alone down there, and there's a reason it's undiscovered. So yeah, throughout the caves they go, obviously the claustrophobia is like, they crawl through things like this thick, for God's sake, and yeah, you feel very claustrophobic in there. There's scary scene in it. Well, not scary. It's like the most tense scene in it has nothing to do with the monsters in it, and it is just the fact that the one girl gets stuck in this cave system. She's like stuck. She can't move, and yeah, you're just like, shit. What you gonna do now? So yeah, and basically that's when shit starts to the fan, because as she wedges herself free, she causes a rock slide sort of thing, and the cave gets, well, sealed in. So they're now sealed in this undiscovered cave system with no way out, because they're fucking idiots. And then they find out that obviously Juno knew that this thing was undiscovered, and even though they've booked a rescue thing, that's for a different cave system they're not even at, which ties into the sequel, which I will talk about in a later video. So yeah, so then they keep going through. There's a lot of cool stuff as well, which are just like they do certain things which then hint towards stuff they gotta do later, except for the fact they've got to do it later with crawlers chasing them to try and rip their throats out. But yeah, they keep going through, and then Holly breaks her leg. She falls down a big thing, breaks her leg, so they've got to carry her some of the way. And then this is the scene that I thought was great. You finally meet the crawlers, and the introduction of these was fucking brilliant. It really was. They fall in and they end up in this big like feeding pit. It's full of rotting carcasses, skeletons, and like stalagmites and stuff. It's really, really an eerie place to be. Well, the bit that makes me laugh is there's one of the women shouting, "Hello, is anybody there?" Like in the most high-pitched voice you've ever heard, and it's like, "Oh yeah, love, you're in a room of rotting carcasses and skeletons about God knows how many miles underground. There's really going to be just a guy there waiting to help you out and say, oh yeah, just that ladder there leads you all the way to the top, have a nice day." How can you be that? I know she's scared, but still, it makes no sense. And they're looking around this night vision camera, because they've took a video camera with them. All of a sudden, look behind, oh shit, there it is. And it basically darts off into the darkness for a few seconds and then comes back. Then, after a rough and tumble, the first person dies. And that's not a spoiler, okay? It's a horror film. You go into this expecting people will die. If you expect to go into this film and think, oh, well, they're going to go caving, yeah, monsters will come, but they'll kill them all and have a happy ending, you're an idiot. Get off this channel. What are you watching this about? It's not going to happen like that. No horror film has ever done that. If a horror film does that, it's not a fucking horror film, it's a Disney film, okay? There will be no happy ending in films like this. There never is. So yeah, and obviously from there, the pace just goes from long, drawn out and very tense and suspenseful to bam, shit. Everything's going on. It's like the girls get split up, they all go down different tracks of the cave. The two sisters are together, Juno goes one way, Sarah goes another, and obviously they just start slowly getting picked off and dying. And you find out a bit about the crawlers along the way, such as, they're blind, they hunt by sounds, a bit like bats, which makes sense, they're in caves, they're bat-like. You can tell by what they look like as well, they look like bat creatures. So yeah, they hunt by sound, which obviously having a bunch of screaming girls down a cave, it's easy prey. But yeah, you keep just getting through it, and you find out more about the characters and more of the backstories and stuff, and it's great when a film does that, in the midst of all this shit that's going on. They're still having time to have this little bit of banter and looking on the bright side. There are jump scares, which, let's face it, it's what it says on the tin, it jumps and you scare, and yeah, you jump, you're scared for like a split second when the thing just goes straight into the screen. It happens. I'd be disappointed if it didn't, in all fairness. But yeah, they're very well executed. And I gotta touch on this as well. The sets are so authentic and realistic, it's brilliant. And the lighting, Neil Marshall, when he started this film, I think there's only one scene he cheats for this. And basically, there is no external lighting, it's all lighting that they have on them. So they're caving, you've got the headlamps, you've got the torches, and you've got those stupid little glow sticks. That's the lighting in this film, which makes it, of course, very eerie, very dark, and very realistic, and just adds to this terror. It is brilliant for that. And I gotta be honest, I'm not a big horror movie fan. I don't watch a lot, but I need to go and get this, like, every copy I can find, because it's a brilliant film. I'd watch it again right now if I could, but I don't have it at the moment. So yeah, and it goes through it a bit more, and bam, you reach the end, and it's like a confrontation between Sarah and Juno, because obviously they're the two matriarchs of this scene, and there could only be one getting out of this cave, and I'm not going to tell you which one. You could probably guess though, so yeah, that is a spoiler, I'm sorry for that. But it's a horror, okay? If I was telling you the plot to Looper, then fair enough, but I'm not. It's The Descent. It's a very basic plot. You can guess what's going to happen for pretty much all of it. But yeah, I've just realised I've hit the 10-minute mark on this video. That's epic, actually. Some of the videos were about 2 minutes long. So yeah, I'm going to try and get another video up later. I'm going to do the sequel to The Descent Part 2, and touch on how they differ and how they're similar and everything. Thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully I'll get more than 20 views this time. Dated, this is old as hell film. Cheers!